Yo, what is good, guys? So in this video today, I'm going to be walking you guys through how to make $100 a day with Shopify dropshipping. So what I'm going to be doing is walking you guys through basically what I did with my first store when I started out in like 2017 with dropshipping, walk you through kind of the whole process and like what the product was, how I marketed it, and things like that. So first things first, what you have to do to get to $100 a day is you need to find a product to sell, right? So back when I was first looking for products, before I really knew a lot about, dropshipping and stuff like that, I was just looking for other things that other people were selling. So one thing that was huge back in like 2017 was dad hats, right? So that was like the first thing I sold, but I didn't go kind of the traditional route. Like a lot of other people went with like the little like emojis on a hat or something like that. I wanted to target like rappers or like that sort of industry. So I went and I looked for like hats, like dad hats that were related to rap. So it had to be something that had some sort of reference to music or like the rap culture, whatever you want to call it, right? So found a bunch of stuff, found like 15, 20 different hats, and then I built a website for it. And then, just built a basic website on Shopify. I just used a free theme back then. I didn't even use anything like crazy like I do now, but I just used, I think it was Debut or something like that was the theme that I used. But, went on there, built a basic website. I didn't even use any apps at that point. It was just like a super, super basic website. And then I ran influencer ads. So these are like the three things I did, right? I found a product to sell, I built a website on Shopify, and then I ran an influencer ad. So my thought process with the influencer ad was, I knew I wanted to sell rap hats, so I knew I had to get rappers to promote it, right? So getting rappers to promote stuff costs a lot of money. So like, for example, if you wanted to get a post from like Lil Uzi or something like that, right? That's gonna cost you, probably $5,000, $10,000 plus. So I was like, all right, I don't have money right now for that. I can't afford, $5,000, $10,000 to just blow on an influencer ad to see if this is gonna work. So let me figure out the next best thing. So I'm thinking, how do I reach his audience? Because this is before I knew Facebook ads and stuff like that. This was like just like my first ever dropshipping store was this. So I didn't run Facebook ads, like I didn't do any of that stuff. It was just straight influencer ads. So my thought process was, how can I reach his audience without having to pay, his price for a promo? So I thought, all right, well, if I can't get a promo on Uzi's page, let me reach out to Uzi fan pages, right? Because that's the same audience. It's just not actually his page, but it's still his followers. It's still his fan base, people like that. So what I did was I went and I found a bunch of rap fan pages, like Lil Uzi pages, Lil Pump pages, like all the big rappers at that time. I looked for their fan pages. So their fan pages had maybe like 50 to 100K followers, but they were all super active. And that's like their active followers because for somebody to just follow a rapper, it obviously means they're a fan of them. But if somebody goes out of their way to follow a fan page, it makes them like, it's like a super fan thing, right? So what I did was I just DM'd a bunch of those pages like, hey, how much would it cost for a story promo? And I got a couple people replied, but since I had a small account, so I wasn't getting a ton of replies, but I got a few replies back. And it was basically like, I had a couple people saying like, 10, 15, 20 bucks for a promo. I was like, look, can we do like $5 for a story promo just to test it out? And then if it does well, I'll buy another promo later on. So that's what I did. I got like, I think it was a Lil Pump page at the time that had like 50K followers I paid him $5, PayPal'd him, and then he threw a story promo up. And like my ad was horrible, but it converted well. So my ad was literally just a picture of the hat. And then it said, 50% off sale, today only, swipe up. I literally made it on like the Instagram story thing. So it wasn't even like an insane ad, but it still worked. So I had them post a swipe up link. I got a bunch of sales the first day. I think I made a little over, I want to say it was $120. It was like 3 years ago. So I'll have to try to pop up like a little screenshot so I can show you guys the exact amount. But I think it was around like 120 or 130 the first day. And I just rinsed and repeated the process on the second, third, fourth, fifth day. And just started DMing other pages, figuring out where I could buy promo from. Because like I said, my whole thought process behind it was, if I can't like get a promo from a big rapper, I need to figure out a way to reach their fan base. Now, obviously with Facebook ads, if you want to do that now, you could just put the rapper as an interest and then you would target his whole fan base. But at the time, I didn't know about Facebook ads. I didn't run them. So my first thing was just influencer ads. I was like, let me pay somebody to do a promo. So that worked really, really well for me. I actually ended up making like, I think a little bit over, I want to say 15 grand with that store just running influencer ads before I actually went into Facebook ads. So that worked really well, and the promo was cheap. So you can duplicate that a lot of different ways. If you have something that could be sold to a big influencer or a big artist or celebrity's like fan base, figure out, what that product is you could sell to them, build a website for it, and then go reach out to those fan pages and get influencer ads so that way you can get their audience at a cheaper cost. Because obviously if you're trying to run an ad for Kim Kardashian, right, it's going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars compared to if you DM her fan pages, which have the same audience and the same following. You're probably going to pay, anywhere from 10 to $100 depending on how big their account is. So that is how I took my first dropshipping store from $0 to $100 in the first day. Like I said, just to reiterate everything, I found a product to sell, I built a website on Shopify, I ran influencer ads. So if you have a bigger budget and you can run Facebook ads from the start, I think that's a better route to go with testing products, because influencers can be hit or miss. But if you have a really, really low budget and you only have like maybe 15, 20 bucks to spend on ads, influencers can be a good way to get stuff to pop off, because it's so cheap that, if it doesn't work, you really only lost 5, 10, 20 bucks. But if it does work, it's going to work well. And then you can just double down and keep reinvesting, which is what I did. So I was like, like I said, I didn't know about Facebook ads at the time. Otherwise I would have gone that route from the start. But looking back on it, that's a really, really good way if you don't have a ton of money to start up and test Facebook ads. Because when I'm testing a product with Facebook, I might spend a couple $100 to see if it's a winner, compared to, if you don't have a couple $100 to spend and you want to go with a lower budget route to test products, you can totally do influencers, but it's kind of just hit or miss, because you don't know, the engagement of the page, if they're going to, if it's going to work, if their audience is going to interact with it, things like that. But like I said, I think this is a really good way to start. If you want to get into dropshipping and start testing products and you have a low budget, I think this is one of the best ways you can do it. Like I said, just to go over everything again, find a product to sell. I would say the best way is to try to find something that could be sold to an audience of a big, artist or celebrity or something like that. And then, build a website on Shopify around that product, or, the different products or whatever it may be. And then run an influencer ad and try to find, that celebrity or that artist's fan pages, because you're reaching the same audience for a way lower cost. So that's going to wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you got value from it and you want to see more content like this, drop a comment down below. But if you got value from this and you want to pursue e-commerce and you want to learn more about it, whether you already have an e-commerce site or you're just getting started, you're totally new to this, I'm doing a couple free calls. I'll have a link down below. So like I said, if you got value from this and you want to hop on a phone call with me for free, and let me give you some more value and see how I can help you further, getting started with e-commerce wherever you may be at. If you're just starting, you're completely new to this, or if you're already experienced at it, you're doing sales and you want to up those sales, bring in more revenue, do more numbers, hit the link down below. It'll take you like 2 to 3 minutes to set up a call. We'll hop on the phone, go over how I can help you, and figure out some ways to give you value. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.